All right. So, KSI, the man, the myth, the legend, YouTuber, content creator, rapper, and songwriter. He's really taken this music thing seriously. Boxer as well. I think he would probably get burnt up if I didn't say boxer. If I didn't also put boxer in there, I think he'd probably take that personally. But he's taken this music. He's taken this music thing seriously, y'all. Like he said in my interview with him, and as has been shown in all of the features he's dropped and partaken in since the release of his last record. And he's putting out more fire, more heat. Everybody, more heat. More heat. He's got a new track over here, which is quite the crossover. I mean, you know, it's no MGK Corpse Husband. It's no MGK Corpse Husband, but it is actually, it's actually kind of more impressive than MGK and Corpse Husband, if we're being honest here. He's legitimately got YUNGBLUD, the dude YUNGBLUD, the hip hop punk rock crossover new neo rocker YUNGBLUD and Polo G on the same fucking track. Like that is legitimately more interesting than MGK and Corpse Husband. Okay. And more impressive too. Let's see what exactly the hell is going on here. I'm imagining, I'm having trouble imagining like what even YUNGBLUD and Polo G would sound like on a fucking track, much less what it would sound like with KSI in the mix. So I don't know. It's a decent sized track at 3 minutes. So I imagine everyone gets their fair share on this cut. Let's put it on and see what exactly it has to offer. Okay. My God, let me get the cover art back up. I promise we will play the Brent. This is just so we can get it up as a clip on YouTube, and McFarlane will obviously cut this part out. Thank you. Okay, that wasn't quite what I expected it to be, but I didn't necessarily hate it. But I mean, there were definitely like flaws and cracks in it that are worth pointing out. I mean, I do appreciate KSI wanting to continue branching out, test the waters, and challenge himself to do more sung tracks. And while I think this vocal performance was better than the vocal performances on his last record, seems like there is an improvement of sorts going on here. He did come off very clearly the weakest vocal in the bunch. His vocals were the quietest. His range seemed the shortest. And on top of it, it seemed like he had, and this could be a matter of his delivery and volume being, you know, so underwhelming. He sounded like he had more vocal effects on his voice than everybody else. It seemed like he may have had, maybe there was some pitch correction, and there was definitely like some kind of crazy vibrato shit going on, much like what we hear on Post Malone's voice on a lot of tracks. And with that being said, there were some kind of big Post Malone vibes on this track, in my opinion. Bit of a Post Malone vibe, I would say, between the bass and the drums, kind of a Foster the People vibe. I'd say there's even like a bit of an inkling of like Rich Brian's recent poppy stuff. And God, there was a huge synthwave influence as well. There was a huge synthwave influence. I had no idea this thing would be so goddamn 80s. So yes, I wasn't too crazy about KSI's voice. Influences on the track really being worn on the sleeve. YUNGBLUD, I thought his voice was fine. I think vocally he kind of stood out the brightest, mostly because he just like kind of slayed the fuck out of that hook. But that being said, I didn't expect Polo G to come out so fire out of the gate. Polo G was like really passionate on this track. Yeah, his verse wasn't that long, but I feel like he set the tone of the track really well. Production all around was pretty punchy and colorful. Another critique that I have is, I'll say structurally, it felt like a bit of a mess, as it seemed like there was very little in the way of like setup for anything. As soon as the track started, Polo G was just right in your face. When his verse was ending, you just kind of crashed into the YUNGBLUD vocal. It's like you barely had any room for the chorus to like really transition or anything. It's like, bam, as soon as that verse is over, chorus right in your fucking face. And then when KSI pops in, it's almost like, it seems almost random at that point. So, you know, the structure of the track didn't seem all that like well parsed out. But outside of that, I thought it was colorful. Again, it was punchy. The hook worked. And I thought Polo, you know, showed up and did his thing. And I think certainly he went harder than anybody else would go for like a YouTuber track, you know? I would say the same thing for YUNGBLUD as well. I think these guys saw this as an opportunity and put their all into it, and maybe saw it as refreshing to do something that isn't usually in their repertoire, because that's the thing about this track. I mean, the beat, the bass line, and the supremely 80s synthesizers put each of these guys on a sound palette that you never fucking hear them on. So I don't know. It was a weird context for these three guys, but I think all three of them, for the most part, kept their heads above water. And, you know, I guess we'll continue to keep tabs on what KSI does artistically into the future and see what comes of it. Looks like you guys, again, with the poll, mostly enjoyed the track, and certainly it was more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be, despite the weird crossover happening here. But it's still got its issues and it's still got its flaws, and I think KSI still has room to grow at this point. But it's cool to see that he's challenging himself. It's cool to see that. Thank you very much for watching this New Music Friday stream clip over on TND Streams. To see future New Music Fridays, hit up our Twitch page at twitch.tv/theneedledrop. To see some past ones, hit up our Patreon page, linked near me or down below in the description. Also get some bonus monthly content in the process too over there. And yeah, see you guys in the next clip. Forever.